Hello and welcome to Offstage. My name is Shamanabia, and today we will be talking to the quintessential South African band Zebra. Cool, guys. Welcome to the 10th episode of Offstage.
Woo! Thank you.
Welcome.
Exciting stuff. Number 10. That's my lucky number.
So, you guys are very out there. You're very outspoken band, like all over the place. Is that your personalities as well?
I think it's a combination of different personalities together. So like I'd say Sipe is more of like the hip hop theater background, whereas Vim is like the rock and roll, platteland, Afrikaans, like influence of the band. And then Duncan and myself, I feel well, Duncan's more on the jazz side, and I'm more on the metal side. So I think that like contributes to the craziness that happens.
So, how did you guys start out to be a band?
Oh, this is Vim's question. This is it's his time to shine.
2017 was the year. We were all making cars in a little town called Peru, right? All mechanics. Until one day Duncan decided he wants to go have a holiday in New York, right?
Yeah,
We were like, we're not going to let you go alone. We went with him. We start seeing the finer things in life, going to the theater, experiencing culture like we've never seen it. And one thing was missing. There was no soul, you know. We're all from South Africa. We just got a job in Peru. And there was just something missing. I feel like South Africans have soul much more than any other country. And we needed to tell the world how,
yeah,
how we,
what
how we
they're
do.
missing, what they're lacking.
Yeah, so we started a band. That's basically it.
Yeah, but went all the way from America and ended up in South Africa eventually.
There were a few side stops like Mexico and
Brakpan.
Las Vegas. Brakpan was a big one. But yeah, that's
So, how did you guys decide on the name Zebra?
See, our first name, I think you're gonna like this. Our first name happened to be well, what we thought was a good first name was espresso and milk because so we thought that would be the best sort of name for us, and we ended up going and espresso and milk just didn't sit with us. And so we were partying one night, and we were driving down a road, and there happened to be a zebra on the side of the road. And we looked at it, and it was like so majestical. And we thought, this is our spirit animal. This is who we are.
And then you guys just happen to be black and white.
Yeah, that too.
it's so cliche, but I love it now. You
Yeah,
know.
like we kind of like I think one of my friends once said like a zebra is just a horse that's ready to party.
So, how did you guys, obviously, because of the name, so you were like, okay, we have to go all out. So, what made you guys decide on Zebra onesies? Because I've seen you guys perform and it's really out there and it looks good. And sometimes even,
The onesie story is quite an interesting one. I bought I bought myself a zebra onesie years before we started this band. And one day we were rehearsing to do a gig, and Vim saw this like zebra print sticking out of my cupboard. And he's like, "What is that, bro?" And I'm like, "It's a onesie." And we took it out, and I decided I'm wearing it for that show. And
Just kind of just as a joke.
yeah, as most of everything we do starts like a joke. So put it on as a joke. Thought, yo, let's do this. And then Vim found himself a panda onesie. He thought, okay, cool, let's do this. And Ivan's ones changed. Sometimes there was a time where he had Piggy. He was One Direction at some point. Like, yeah. But eventually we all got the same zebra onesies. But like, yeah, it all started as a joke, but in the end it became our uniform. and it is who we are, and it is a part of who we are. And there is no zebra without a onesie.
The other day, I interviewed the band Threes and Sevens. So I spoke to Matt and Murray from the band, and I asked them the question: would you guys ever pull a zebra? So you guys do this amazing thing, and I thought it was amazing when I saw you guys live. It's where all of you guys go off stage and you come back and you play a different instrument. That is so cool. Like honestly, so I asked them, would they ever do that? And I asked the same question to Seb from Indie Dog. And they were like,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though we're multi instrumentalists, we don't think that we can do that. We don't have the confidence for that. So, how did you guys decide to kind of just mix it up in a completely different way to what normal South African music is used to?
Well, like if I understand correctly, I think the first time that happened was, I think it was our very last song. Duncan,
This
for
is a
some
railway show.
reason,
Were you at railway?
yeah,
I was at Railways. I was there with
Ah!
experience. And I was sitting on the table with
Oh
my
my
friend. And I
goodness.
was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
I think I was drunk that show. I'm pretty
No,
sure.
you
it was your
definitely
birth. It
It
was
was
your
were.
my
birthday.
birthday.
You
It was my
were.
You
birthday.
you fell off stage like twice.
Yes, it was my birthday. That was a great show.
And you did
I'm just
shots
saying.
with us as well. And I had no idea what was happening because I didn't know about you guys. I was so very new in this whole railways kind of scene and the bands that they choose to perform there. And I just saw you in a zebra once, and I'm like, this dude has some serious confidence rocking this onesie. Because I didn't know that you were part of a band, and then you were on stage. I'm like, I just did shots with this guy.
Yeah, that sounds like us. Party with the people.
That night it wasn't actually planned. We've thought about it a lot because Duncan is also good on bass. Ivan is actually a guitarist. I'm actually a drummer. So we had a few ideas of doing that. And then the Railways, but never actually did that. And then Railways came along and we were headlining.
Like
So we were playing last, and Duncan in the last song just had to go pee.
yeah, then basically just
And
improvised the whole, like the last song. And I think it was Rex from the Capitals. Like he jumped on bass. I just fucking grabbed the guitar and I hope I played the right chords. I'm pretty sure them felt exactly the same. But yeah, it
yeah,
worked.
It was honestly the most impressive thing that I've seen in a very long time from a live band. And I think that's kind of what made me so excited to get to know your music and to like get to know you guys as artists, because being out there and just interacting with the crowd as much as you guys did, it takes some serious confidence and talent.
like yeah, we're just trying to have fun, you know. You book us as a band, and
Mm.
if you book us, you know people are gonna have a party. We consider ourselves the party starter. We're not at the party finisher yet, but we're working towards it. And I feel a lot of bands should also get
Yeah.
that mentality of people buy a ticket to your show to forget about life for a while. You know, they're there for entertainment, not about the songs or how famous you are, or blah 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 blah. It's literally entertain me for an hour. I need to forget. You know.
I think I think what we do best is that we're not, well, the band is not necessarily seasoned musicians. They're not gonna get out there
Yeah.
and bust out a solo that you is gonna face melt you. But what we do well is we perform. We get people to get like into that mode. That okay, there's no date on the site and there's no date on the, get it going.
Yo, what's up, Uza?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly it. I mean, when we started this thing, it was a whole idea of we you get bands that get onto stage and just kind of
Yeah.
yo, we're these guys, we're gonna play some music. And we were like, that's the opposite of what we want to be. We want you to feel like you're walking into, you are the show. Not necessarily just watching a show. You're part of that show. That show is you as the audience member.
Yeah. That all started in New York.
Yeah.
That was missing because we were at a few open mics in New York, and the guys like it was boring. Something had to be done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah,
So when you said earlier about you want to be the main act, so you guys have opened for so many amazing bands like PH Fat. Well, he's not a band, but PH Fat, Fuko Polisikar, like all of these massive names. And how is it for you guys to open for these artists?
I get
Yeah.
dreams start a lot. I cry a lot backstage. Then I work my courage.
Can I embarrass you quickly, bro?
Go for it.
So we played a festival, Hidden Nest,
Oh
and
yes.
Vim. So we were playing there, and we opened for a band called Radio Kalahari Orkest. And Vim Vim met Ian Roberts, amazing actor and amazing singer and performer. And Vim met this guy, and he literally he was crying so much he couldn't speak. He was like, "Oh my god!"
Dude,
He
I
was
grew
like,
up with
"Oh my
Rory
god!"
Kalawari Orkesh, you know? That's like a
He
dream
could.
come true.
He was so starstruck, and he was just so taken aback with having this amazing man
Yeah.
and have being able to share a stage with him that he literally could not get words out of his mouth. And I mean, I think we've opened for some like a wide spectrum of artists. For instance, we've opened for someone named Brian Timber. I don't know if the boys will even remember, but we opened for Brian Timber at Market at the Sheds. I grew up singing and listening to Brian Timber as a jazz artist, and the fact that we got to open for him was also like a massive milestone for me. And I think that is one of the greatest things that we get to do as a band is go out and open for these guys and meet these people and realize that they're just humans like us. They're just people that love their art and enjoy what they do just as much as we do.
Mm. I think my favorite most likely was Mango Groove, just
Yeah,
because.
Oh, and like now we can
Yeah.
tell our kids, like we share this with them. Although it was 3 hours before they played, I can,
Yeah.
I'm still putting that on my resume, you know?
no, Mango Groove. I
Yeah.
remember at Cablecraft, right? Was it?
Yeah.
They arrived while we were playing, and they stood there and they watched half of our show.
Yeah, and apparently they liked it as well.
Exactly. And that was enough for us when we got off stage and these guys who've been playing music and been doing their thing for the last 20 years come up to you and say, "Yo, that was a
Yeah.
great show." I mean, that is striking stuff. Especially a band like Mango Groove. Like Vim always says, you know, the moment Mango Groove comes on, you can be mad, you can be fighting in the middle of a fight. You can be black, white, purple, yellow, it doesn't matter. As soon as that Mango Groove song starts playing, you are
Yeah.
all dancing. And you're
Yeah.
all happy.
So would you guys say that these artists that you've just mentioned plays a big role in the music that you make and the kind of vibe that you want to give from your music?
Massive. Yeah. We like because we grew up in like different
Background.
Yeah.
backgrounds. Yeah. I'll start writing a song and it's very rock. And then I would say like a year ago we actually started working towards more a proudly like Mango Groove, freshly ground, um, proudly South African sound, you know. So yeah, massive inspirations, and because I want to be able to do that, get anyone from anywhere to have a
Yeah.
good time,
Yeah.
you know.
So what is your background? So we'll start with you, Vim, and then we'll work it up. So from my side, it's Vim, Stipe, and then Ivan. What is your
Yes.
musical background? Did you guys study anything, or how did this become your journey?
Yo, so grew up in Middelburg, Mpumalanga, platteland, klein dorpie. I think there's two bars now. Back in the day, there were three, so we went hard, you know. And then always wanted to study music, and got my dad was like, okay, I don't believe in this, but I'll send you, go. Studied music for a year, and kind of realized you don't have to study music to become a musician, kind of thing. They don't teach you how to get a gig. They teach you the technique and all that stuff, but how to actually make a living as a musician, they don't tell you that. So dropped out, went back to Middelburg, got into a corporate job for 6 months, hated my life, drank all away all my money and pride. and it got to a point where I'm like, you know what, that's it. Moving to Pretoria. I'm going to start a band, and that's what I'm going to do. And I haven't had a single regret since.
So how did your parents feel when you just suddenly moved back? Like, were they kind of like, we told you, or were they very supportive of the fact that you are still going to try and achieve your dream?
When I moved back originally, I started a band called Rustic Breakfast Band. We did a lot of weddings and had a kind of monopoly going, but they've always supported the music, or my pursuit. What's the word here?
Pursuit.
Yeah, my pursuit of music. Always supported it, although they don't quite get it. Plateland making a living off of music is like a little bit above their heads, but totally supportive, and I love them for that.
Cool. And Sipe, where is your story? Because earlier you said, or I think Ivan said something about you having a theater background.
Yeah. So okay. So I was born in Joburg in Soweto. Grew up my very young years there, and moved to Pretoria. I'm pretty much schooled in Pretoria, and finished high school in Pretoria. And then after high school, I went and I studied dance and musical theatre. So I did a diploma in dance and musical theatre for 3 years. So I did all the cool stuff. I did all the dancing, ballet, jazz, contemporary, tap, ballroom. I did all that stuff, and then I did acting and as well as singing. And that was my passion at the time. My passion was to become a sort of like that Broadway performer, triple threat. And why are you laughing?
Did you just call yourself a triple threat?
I'm sure I am a triple threat, and I still am.
I'm gonna call you CP Triple X from now on.
Anyway, so I finished after finishing my course. I was freelancing for quite a bit, and obviously, freelancing is very hard in the arts and, well, in acting and singing and all that, because you get a contract for 3 months, and then you are out of work for 3 months, and
Exactly. And you have to keep on promoting yourself. Like, you have to like run yourself as a business.
exactly, it gets very difficult. And at the time, I had a great agent and everything, but I have a very specific body type. I have a very specific sort of um, character that I fit into. So I was struggling to get work and stuff at the time, and I started working at a bar, and I needed the work, and out of nowhere, I met this amazing, you know, friend of mine that understood rock and roll and understood music, and he said to me, let's start a band. And it was kind of like a joke, and that from that moment I have no regrets from now, because now I'm doing what exactly I wanted to do. I'm on a stage, I am dancing, I am singing, maybe a little bit of acting as well, and but I'm doing it with my own way, kind of like my own rules. Obviously, one day if someone had offered me a 3 month contract to do, rent or something, I would go and I'll do it for 3 months. But this is now become my passion and my love. Zebra is, a big part of who I am, and a big part of how I have as a performer grown. And yeah,
So would you say that your family, your friends have always been supportive in the role that you've wanted to be
my
in the
mother
music
never understood it from
industry?
the start. When I said to my mother, "Mommy, I want to go study drama," she looked at me and she was like, "No, you can like," because at the time, I mean, I'd gotten accepted to do law and politics and all that stuff. My mom was like, "No, go do that. That's a proper job." And I was like, "No, that is all I want to do. I want to act. I want to be on stage." And my mother didn't accept it and said, "No, if you're going to do that, you're going to pay for it yourself." And I literally went my first semester, oh well, not first semester, first 3 months of first year, working a job and studying from, like, pretty much the whole day, kind of 6 to 6 studying, and working a job on weekends and trying to make my tuition. And eventually, my mom saw how much it meant to me and kind of said, "Okay, cool. You know what? You want this thing so bad. Let's see you do it." And she did, and she helped me, and I finished. And now, only now, after those 3 years of after seeing how hard I worked in those 3 years, she kind of started to support me and really get behind me. And her only thing to me is that She doesn't care what I do. If this is what I love to do and I want to do this, go ahead. As long as you make a living out of it and make sure you're making a living out of it. My friends have always supported me. That's one thing I can say is that my friends have always seen my talent and have always pushed me to carry on with my talent. And that for me has been amazing.
Cool. Ivan, what is your story? How did you get into music? Do you also have like a longer background to this?
Not really. I think I was like 10 years. Yeah, I think I was about 10 years old. My mom bought me Guitar Hero for like my PlayStation 2. And like I was constantly on that thing. Like as soon as I got home from school until I went to bed, I was just playing Guitar Hero. And I think she just decided, well, like if he's spending so much time playing games, I might as well buy him a real guitar and he'd like learn something instead of just playing games. So from when I was about 12 or 13, got my first guitar. From there, just like been teaching myself. Like I had lessons for about half a year, and then as soon as I learned the basics, like watched YouTube videos, learned from other people, jammed with them, like kind of just learned from experience. Then I had a band called Tea Time, and we used to play at the open mic nights at Anklas, where the three of us worked together. Eventually, they saw me performing at one of the open mic nights, and like said, "Well, okay, cool. Well, you play guitar really well. Like them can also play guitar. Do you want to like start this thing with us?" Eventually, started playing with them. Went horribly because
You're
I think when when we just started out, it was me on guitar and then them on bass. And I remember there's one show where like let's say the organizer came to us afterwards and told us like she's never booking us again. Like that was horrible. Obviously realized, okay, shit, like something needs to change. And that's when I switched over to bass and then went to guitar. Never held a bass in my life, didn't know how to play it, didn't know any technique, any theory, nothing. And yeah, basically just watch YouTube videos, went to friends' houses. They showed me like a few like tips and tricks and stuff. And yeah, that's it, plain and simple.
Yeah.
oh, dude, you've come a long way. We can say that. I love
Yeah.
your bass playing right now.
Oh,
It's
thank you.
lekker. Hij zit mooi, verstaan.
It's getting better. It's getting better. It's getting better.
By the way, this was all like a month before we went to Peru.
So
We all got confirmation we can do music. And
Yeah.
we're like, no, we're going to be mechanics.
you just wanted to work on the hand skills and just make sure that you know everything before you go back into the live music
Yeah,
scene.
Yeah,
yeah, see the world, you know?
Exactly.
you can't slap a bass if you can't handle a wrench.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
those two are supposed to go hand in hand together. It's like when you buy a bass, they're like, can you work a wrench? Yes. Okay. Here you
Yeah,
go.
basically.
Here's some wax for your strings. Thank you.
Fix
Fucking,
die radiator, dan kan die bass
Yeah.
speel.
I can your bass service.
Nice.
Have you ever used that as a pickup line?
Well, I'm going
Ja,
to.
ons gaan nou.
What was
It
your
was
first
still
tour?
Durban. It was so badly like planned, and I mean, look, it wasn't badly planned. It was just we didn't prepare properly. We didn't bring enough money with you for with that. It was amazing though. We went down to Durban. We went down at around the time when Rage was just starting as well. So we went down there, had a chalet, we had a place to stay, and for the first 5 days we were kind of supposed to be looking for gigs and stuff, and then we didn't, and we had a party, and by the sixth day we were running out of money, and we obviously then we had a couple of gigs that we had planned out and everything, and we went down to we played at S43 in Durban North, amazing, amazing, amazing venue. That brewing company, that brewing company.
Ja.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sean and them are amazing people, and
Yeah.
we got there. We were treated like kings, Had the most amazing time there. And the next day, we were in a parking lot. without a place to stay,
no, no
no food.
accommodation.
It was hectic. Yeah, we got to we got to S43. They asked us, "What would you like to eat?" We were all in a bit in shock because, oh, okay, treated us like kings, bar tabs, food tabs, offering us to like sleep there because obviously we had a few. Um, Next morning, super bubble us, get kicked out of our chalet. We don't have money to eat. We're eating like worstbroodjes with smoked Viennas in Spa's parking lot. It literally went from hero to minus
And after that,
710.
we drove to Eshowe, which is about, I mean, from Belito, Eshowe is about an hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. And when we drive there, and we get there, as we park our cars, we get out. Our manager at the time, or our booking agent at the time, gives me a call and says, "Hey, your Eshowe gigs have been cancelled." And we're kind of like, wait, we were counting on this money to get from here to our next gig, which is in Port Shepstone, which is
The,
2.5 hours or 3 hours from Eshowe. And we met the most amazing people there. Well, Mike, this guy that owns this restaurant, was like, "No, guys, you guys are here anyway. Play the gig acoustic, and I'll pay you guys." And he gave us food, he gave us beer. It was, it was a great time. And then
yo,
we drove all the way
Um,
down to Port Shepstone, or just before Port Shepstone, to a place called Mantis and Moon, to Mzumbe, where they met this lovely cougar.
it has to burn when it goes
And yeah, we
down.
had a lacquer gig. We stayed a couple of days there, and then we drove back to Durban, and we had our last gig before we drove home. It was on a Sunday evening, and we were driving back because I had work on the Monday. I remember, and we got there, and we were counting on this specific gig to give us the money to get home. And we get there, and it's at a bar called Peaky Blinders, which I hear now is actually like a functioning proper bar, and it has like a beautiful venue for music. And we got there, and we walked inside, and they were still building the bar, and ended up playing for
Yep.
the owner and the booking agent that we had in Durban that booked us the gig. And yeah, it was just horrible. But that tour, I think, for us, was the tour that brought us together as a band. We knew each other as friends and everything, but I feel like that tour we became brothers, and we really got to know each other, and we started gelling, and that was like the sort of like that. In every sort of journey, you get that sort of change of mindset. From then on, we changed our mindset, and we were so ready, and we took on the world that our second tour was a breeze. We had money, we had food, and we were okay. Well,
we're a lot
a
more
lot more experienced.
experienced.
Yeah.
So was this long after
Oh,
your very first tour?
Our first tour happened in December of 2018.
18.
Yes, my sister's 20 now. Yes, 2018. And the next tour we did was Easter the next year, 2019, last year.
It was like
Yeah,
April-ish.
because we had this lovely tour in Durban, and then we ended up playing at Splashy Fen as our last sort of gig for the tour, which was absolutely insane and
yo, that
amazing.
was also a hectic turn of event because we had to play splashy, party with the people obviously because you need to keep them happy and show them the zebra way. Um, then we had to wake
Oh,
up
no, no,
at
no! You're thinking
four.
of White Mountain, bro.
Pa-
That was another.
No,
no,
no.
no, no. We played
No,
Jeremy
bro, not
Loops the next
Splashy.
day.
Splashy,
Oh,
we wake up
that's
early
White
from
Mountain.
Splashy to come home because my sister was studying in Cape Town, and she had been home for the whole Easter holiday, and I never got to see her because we were on tour.
Oh,
So
that's
I woke
right.
them up
My
at
bad.
5 o'clock in the morning while it was raining and it was ice cold, and they hated me. But we got out just in time because later on that day, people were trying to get out and got stuck. It was the year that everyone got stuck at Splashy because of the mud.
Yeah, and I remember there was like a 6 hour delay at the toll gate or something
Exactly,
like that.
because people were stuck and it was bad. So you guys should thank me for that
Yeah, like a blessing
day.
in
That's it.
disguise.
Yeah,
Yeah. At that time, I wanted to murder you, but it's fine.
it's a pleasure.
Thank you, CP.
So you guys were supposed to release your debut album at a big show in Anklas the 21st of March of this year. And unfortunately, due to COVID, that was horribly misled and also cancelled. But then you guys were the very first band to do a live show, and that is also where you released your EP.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
that was. I think what
Yes.
happened was obviously lockdown happened and everything, and I mean this album was it's 3 years in the making. This we started this band in 2017. And it's 3 years in the making. Everyone's been asking us for music for the past year and a half, and it's been recorded and stuff. And we decided this was the time, and this was the perfect opportunity to do this. And obviously, the universe was like, "Hell no, bro, not your time yet to do this big party." And we got approached by some really awesome people from the Weekly Wire and Body Jakob, Mr. Thomas Hill and Earl, legends,
Legends.
and they were like, "Listen, boys, we want to stream it." We were so excited for the gig, and stuff it. Let's. We actually did. No, what happened was we did an interview with him about a week before, 2 weeks before, leading up
Yeah.
to the release of the EP. And we did a bit of a podcast with the Weekly Wire, and they called us and were like, "Guys, let's do this. Let's do a live stream. Let's do this." And it was like a blessing in disguise, and they really helped us out. And we've done so many other streams with them now. All of our streams that we've done during the lockdown have been with Vadi Jakob and the Weekly Wire. The Rockdown Festival is coming up, so get you guys' tickets on Howler. We got people like the Electric Monks playing, Indie Dog. I think the Threes and Sevens are also playing. Uh,
Black
Black
Cat
Cat
Bones.
Bones. It's really really awesome lineup and a lot of awesome artists that will benefit from this type of festival. So please buy your tickets.
Exactly.
Yes.
And also, there
Mm-hmm.
are two tickets to be won if you repost this episode, like this episode, share this episode, or just suggest it to someone. So you know what you got to do to win two free tickets worth 200 Rand each. You can also buy your own tickets at Howler if you do not manage to win these.
Yes.
Cool. So my very first question. So I don't know if you guys saw, but earlier on, I posted on Instagram for the fans, and if they have questions with you or for you, sorry.
Yes.
So very first question is from the
Yeah.
Threes and Sevens band, and their question is, how excited are you guys? Lockdown, lockdown.
Oh man, I'm so excited. I honestly cannot wait to be, you know, sort of doing a festival. Not really like it's very different to actually having an audience, but I'm very excited to have lights and bands and instruments and a venue to play at.
Yeah, I'm just excited to like spend some time with other bands again and just like just share some
Yeah.
ideas again and share some music and just be with people that like-minded people.
Oh, and get Maltsterk on stage
And a
and
bit of Swybrand.
drown in sweat and
Yes.
smell the passion.
So who would you say is, I don't know if this is like a nice question, but who would you say is one of your favorite bands to see at a festival or at a different venue? And you're like, that is our main band. We love those guys. Who would you guys say is like the one band that excites you so much when you see them?
Mine is the Shabs. I
Mm.
love the Shabs. We've come a long way with them. Massive, inspiring legends of musicians. I'm surprised they haven't like blown up over South Africa. Um, but the Shabs is my band.
I would say mine is probably Steezy's.
Yeah, Stevie. We still have a beer pong competition with them.
Yeah, we still need to finish
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
These are awesome, man. And I think the other band for me that really, really sticks out, and someone they have a front man that I really, really look up to, and I wish one day I could be as crazy as that man. Is Crimson House. I love.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Um, the energy on stage is just something else. And probably also another band that I really really love is Soundwarmer. Ah,
Yeah,
Soundwarmer.
because we started with them at onesies.
Yeah, and then there's awesome bands like the Threes and Sevens and Indie Dog as well that are doing really awesome stuff out there. What's the other
Yeah.
band? Pusselig. And
So looking back, or when you guys started out in this band, did you guys ever think that this is what you would have accomplished in such a short amount of time?
Yeah.
Never.
like you know, I feel like this band, like I said earlier, this uh, this band started as a joke. I kid you not. We said, "Ha, let's start a band," and 3 years later, it's become a part of us. And
Yeah.
it's almost like I also want to say a movement rather than just music and stuff. But it's we never did it for the money. We never did it for we want to get famous and stuff. We did it because we love what we do, and we found three other people that enjoy doing what we do.
Yeah, you were supposed to be in theaters. Yvonne was to finish studying.
Yeah.
I was supposed to play drums for Bok van Blerk, and then all of a sudden this happened.
Like my dream was to be on those stages, to be in the Sound of Music, to be in Matilda, and I watch all my friends and all that stuff. But I'm happy,
Oh,
man. I found my own tribe.
yeah, dude.
So the second question that I have for you guys from one of your fans, so this is from Rotel. His question is or was, how important has David from Demographic been in your career?
He's like that dad that let you drive his car when you're 15 years old, kind of thing. Go out, go buy a beer, kind of thing. Um, you'll still be responsible, for your actions, but it's not a like a managing thing. It's more like a steering in the right direction, and
Mm.
he's opened doors like you wouldn't imagine. I mean,
And I mean, look, we haven't been with David long. I mean, David approached us after
Yeah.
Halloween last year, and ever since, he's been like a homie. He's opened the right things and kind of got us thinking and speaking the right things. Before him,
yeah.
we didn't have sponsorships. Thank you, Poison City. Thank you, Love Martins. Thank you, Dakota Lee. We didn't have those. We forgot to say those type of
Just
things.
slide that in there.
We never, and I mean, we didn't do a lot of podcasts as well. We didn't do a lot of this type of stuff. We did podcasts and we did interviews, but it was mostly our friends and our homies that we knew. We had booking agents and we had people
Yeah.
that were our managers, and they did great for us and they got us to the point in our careers where we needed someone like David to come in and be like, okay, gents, this is where I see it. This is where you could go. This is what you could do, and it's made the world of difference.
Yeah, he's put a fire under our
Yeah.
asses and said, "Okay, you want to do this? Let's do it," kind of thing.
No,
Um,
definitely.
he makes us think creative and think forward, and he's
Yeah.
just amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
I believe every band should have a David, a person that's kind of like their father and takes care of them and like pushes them in the
Yeah.
right direction.
He's got the perfect balance between, like, if you tell a musician, let's take an example, don't drink at this gig, he's definitely got to drink there. You know what I'm saying? And he's just got that perfect balance of saying, cool, but I don't
Yeah.
think that's a great idea. Rather try, like, perform the show and go home and then drink, kind of thing. That's just a silly example, but he's a captain of a ship, kind of thing.
So, what is your writing process?
So Vim, by the way, but our resident lyricist is Vim. He does all the good stuff when it comes to lyrics.
I mean, writing for Zebra is very easy. You get chords, like, let's say Mexico. You take chords that sound a little Spanish, and you're like, okay, this sounds kind of Mexican. Let's go with the chorus. Man, I wish you were in Mexico, Mexico. It's not a difficult process. But there are some the new songs. We've got a few new songs that actually have some depth to them. Yeah, get a catchy chorus and then move on.
I think
Yeah.
we were looking for something to say, and we got we got how to say something, but we didn't necessarily know what we wanted to say. And I think we finally found our direction on what we
Yeah.
want to say to the people and what we want our fans to hear. And I think the biggest thing and the most important thing we ever when we started the band was that we want to draw everything that we sing. We want to sing about something that means something to us, and that people can relate to. I mean,
Yeah, that's the big thing. Everyone needs to relate out of it.
exactly. So everyone needs to hear that song and go, "Yes, I get you. I feel you. This is me."
I definitely feel that way about your song 21. That it needs to be an anthem for the younger generations. Like, calm TF down.
Mm,
You are
Yeah,
21.
yeah.
Go party. Go
Yeah.
have a good time.
Yeah.
yeah. I hate it when a 21-year-old gets to like a bar and he's like, "No, my girlfriend just dumped me," and starts crying and doesn't know how he's gonna live without her. I'm like, "Bruh, you're 21 years old. Get over it. Move on. Jeez, you've got your whole life, you know." From that, breaking up with a girlfriend or hating your boss or partying
Mhm.
like you were on a different country. Yeah, as long as it relates and it's catchy, and the new songs obviously have a little bit more depth, but same principles.
Cool,
Along the
guys.
lines, yeah.
So, where do you guys see yourself as a band in, or not even in, but like after COVID 19?
A skunk. um, we are actually busy planning. It's gonna be called the comeback. So far, it might change,
Mm.
um, but something massive. I can't go into details, but you're definitely gonna see and hear Zebra a lot.
See,
That's the aim.
yeah. The aim is to come back. A lot of this is where you tell the people who are in this for the money and the fame, and the people that were in this because they love what they do. We know the moment we can perform again, we're gonna be yo. We're so ready. We've been working on stuff. We've been getting things ready, and we're just so ready to
Everywhere.
share it with everyone and our fans and everyone out there. So yeah, the comeback is coming. Be prepared.
Yeah, it's gonna be big.
We are so excited for this. Do you guys have any like people shifting, playing different instruments aligned in that as well?
Well, obviously now, yes. After this interview, definitely. Um,
Exactly, because you have to do it more than once now because I've mentioned it in 2 interviews.
Yeah.
So people need to know what it means to do the zebra.
yeah, we're definitely gonna put it in there.
Cool, guys. So the very last question that I have for you, and each one can answer it individually, but if you can give motivation to the younger people, people that want to become artists, or people that are still fixing cars and need to go out and fix or like make music, what would you give them or tell them as a motivational saying or quote?
Get a job. Get a day job.
Don't do it for money. Yeah, don't do it for money.
Yeah, especially in South Africa. It's a very small. Everyone knows everyone. It's a small industry, can I say? And just the top 10% actually doesn't have day jobs.
Yeah, they are able to make a living off of it.
Yeah, like when I came back from Middleburg, that was a bitter pill to swallow. To actually realize, okay, it's not as easy as it seems. Get a day job, and don't like lose focus. You want to do music because you love it. If it works out, the fame and the money and whatever you want out of it will come automatically. You know.
I think for me, the biggest thing is, you know what? Don't work a day in your life. For me, when I had a job before COVID hit, I would wake up in the morning and I would go into my office and then, you know, manage people and then go and teach what I love to do. And then on a Friday night, step on a stage and become a rock star. I was living my life the best way I could live it. And as they said, don't ever do this for the fame and the money. You do this for the passion and for the love of it. And yeah, always have your business, always have your money. Just
Yeah, but don't go work in a call center,
no,
you know. Do something you still like. Work in a bar or something with
exactly what I'm
people.
saying.
Or
Don't work a day in your life. Love
yeah,
love like your job mustn't feel like when I wake up in the morning I'm going to work. It must feel like aware. I'm ready for this.
yeah. You've only got 80 years on this planet. Make it count, you know.
Yeah, I think like I agree with what Vim and Sipe said. Like, make sure you truly have a passion for this, because the only way you'll reach your goals if you're willing to put in the work and put in the effort. And the only way you're going to be willing to put in that work is if you have a passion for it and if it's enjoyable for you.
Yeah, and network. Your networking is the key in this industry. You don't get festivals from your EP. You get festivals from partying with the organizer at a bar. You know what I'm saying?
Always have your Don schooner on. Be ready to network with everybody because it's very important in this industry. Like you said, I mean, your music can be fantastic and you can know everything that there is to know about an instrument. But if you are a rude person and if you take for granted what people put across your table, you are not going to make it.
No, like I think something that people don't realize is like these people talk to each other. If you mess up with one guy, or if you're rude to one guy, he's gonna go to like 10 other guys that were planning on booking you and like tell them, listen, this guy, it's not nice working with him. He's an asshole. Don't book him.
Exactly. I mean, it's knowing your industry as well. Doing your homework. I mean, if I'm talking about the theater world, I know the theater world. If I want to find a production company, I'm going to people like Janice Honeyman. I'm going to people like Jacob van Rensburg at VR Theatrical. I'm going to, oh, if I want to get lights, I'm going to Gear House. Do your research. I mean, if you're going to get into the music world, you need to know people like Gareth Wilson. You need to know who Gareth Wilson is and what they did. You need to know people like Henk van der Schyff who run Capital Craft, who run Park Acoustics. You need to know the right names,
No,
and the right people. You need to be able to. If I walk into a gig and I see someone like Jean Michel, I know I'm going to be best friends. I'm going to be nice to that guy. So that he goes, oh, that guy from Zebra, he was nice to me.
no,
Exactly. And I mean, that's also how I came across you guys. It was not only with David, but because I saw you guys live and you were so social with everybody. It's not like you were better than anybody. You were just there to have a
exactly.
good time and give everybody a great time.
Exactly. I mean, like you said, like I had a shot with you. I mean, I do that at whenever I go out. If I meet people and I like people, I'm like, oh, wait, let's do this. Let's have a shot together. Let's have fun. That's the people we are. It's not different anytime. There'll never be a time when we walk into a bar and become those guys are too cool for everyone around us.
That's very important. And it's also so amazing for you guys as a
Hmm.
band to kind of have that and be like, listen, we are here for other bands as well and supporting them because you would have wanted to feel a part of everything as well when you guys just started out. So I think that is amazing for you guys and it will get you so much further because you guys are so humble and so nice to everybody around you.
But yeah, thank you so much.